Hey guys,
Hi guys.
welcome back
Oh,
to
well, now
another
I didn't realise you
video.
were filming. I thought you were just practicing.
No, I'm filming. This is the final part. I know we've reached the end of of the series where I go through each year of the 80s and give you my top 10 albums of each year. This is the video that I never filmed when I did this part originally. The main reason I didn't film this part back when I originally did this series is because I didn't have 10 albums from 1989 to show you. I think I had like 5 or 6. Now I've got more, and obviously my opinion and musical taste would have changed a lot since the last time I did the series. That's why I started the whole thing again. But anyway, that's enough rambling. You guys, this is the first time you're watching this, I did film this series about 3.5 years ago when it was a trend in the vinyl community and never finished it, so I've come back to the beginning and started again. You guys who have been tuning in since the first part will know that already.
They're probably thinking, geez, just show a freaking record.
Thanks for that.
You had an half ramble.
I need to
Oh
explain to people who haven't watched the videos before.
Well, you don't need to explain. They're going to get it, aren't they?
No,
They don't understand.
not necessarily.
Well, yeah, unless they're babies.
Sorry about her. She's cranky.
Oh,
Anyway,
cranky.
this is the last, like I said at the beginning, this is the last part of the series, and then I need to figure out something else to do for next Saturday's video. So let me know what you guys would want to see, if there's any particular videos or rankings or anything you guys want to see. Let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, let's get into this ranking, because as always, 2 minutes in and still ain't shown anything, so let's go. Kicking off the top 10 of 1989 is Miles J, Irresistible. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Miles J, if you know Teddy Pendergrass, his music, he has a very similar voice. The first time I heard his song Heaven, which is on this album, I genuinely thought it was Teddy Pendergrass singing it, and I could not track down the song. And then I learned it was Miles J, and I was like, wow, he sounds very, like, it's uncanny how much he sounds like Teddy Pendergrass. Yeah, this was a this is a great album. Of course, I've mentioned the title track Heaven already. Played on every single soul radio station I find, internet radio station that I find. Every DJ is playing Heaven in their set. The title track Irresistible is really good. Objective is great. You've got a cameo from Grover Washington Jr. on that album, on that track. Really good stuff. Just one that needs to be checked out. He's a multi-instrumentalist, but he also his main vocal is the singing. His main instrument is the vocals, is what I was trying to say. But really, really good album. Definitely give this a listen if you're into your soul and your R&B and you're not familiar with this. Definitely check it out. I mean, it's made my top 10, and you guys know I'm very much into my soul and R&B, so it must be good. Coming in at number 9 on my list is Eric Clapton, Journeyman. Again, I think, well, actually, I never recorded this video, but I think this album originally, when I wrote the list out, was higher. But I think this is the best album Eric did in the 80s. I'm not a big fan of his 80s work. I'm very picky when it comes to Eric Clapton, actually, particularly nowadays. But yeah, he has got some good albums. This is maybe one of my favourites from him. You've got all of side 1 is fantastic. Even his cover of Hound Dog, which I really like. My favourite track on here though is Before You Accuse Me, which of course closes the album off. For those of you that know this album really well, that's maybe my favourite track on here. Yeah, I love every single song this album has, which is probably why it's one of my favourites from Clapton. But generally, just not a big fan of his. Sort of a casual Clapton fan, but I love this album, so that's why it's in my top 10. Just because of how good it is, how catchy a lot of the songs are. And yeah, that closing track, I love it. Next album up is Billy Joel, Stormfront. I think the only Billy Joel album that I've talked about, I can't remember now off the top of my head, but this has the massive single We Didn't Start the Fire on it, which I'm sure if you're a Joel fan you know. This is the second to last album he ever did. I don't know what's gone on with him since 1993, but for some reason he has not put a new album out since, but hasn't stopped touring. I do have a bit of a soft spot for Billy Joel with his music because, not gonna lie, I share a birthday with him, 9th of May, so that's kind of why I check out anything by Billy Joel when I can. But yeah, really love this album from him. Really good. Then that comes in at number 8. If I can get it back in the sleeve, that'd also be great. At number, what are we at? 7? Yeah, at number 7 is Janet Jackson with Rhythm Nation 1814. My second favourite Janet Jackson album. It would have been my favourite if I'd filmed this a few years ago, but since then I've discovered another Janet Jackson album that I think I prefer over this. Of course, the title track, Rhythm Nation, is on this, which is really, really good. Just every single track on here actually is killer. Escapade, Black Cat, Lonely, Miss You Much, Love Will Never Do Without You. Just solid stuff from Janet Jackson. Maybe my favourite era of her career is between 1989 and 1997. I think that's the best time for Janet Jackson in my opinion anyway. But yeah, there is Rhythm Nation 1814. And now it's raining outside.
Still a bit more than that.
At number 6, we have Babyface, Tender Love. Really nice album from Babyface, his debut, a very solid debut at that. I think he's better known for his songwriting. He's written for people like Michael Jackson and people like that. But yeah, he's done a lot of work with a lot of other soul musicians that he's better known for. But this album's really, really good. It's no crime. The title track, Tender Love, Let's Be Romantic, Can't Stop My Heart, Whip Appeal, Given a Chance, Sunshine. He has a really, really good voice, and I think he's one of those artists that's very underlooked and underappreciated in his genre. So I definitely think he needs to be checked out more. But yeah, Babyface. Really, really good stuff here. Can't wait to get more of his stuff on vinyl. Yeah, that's a very, very good album for me from Babyface. Love it. Okay, so number 5, kicking off the top 5, is Soul to Soul, Club Classics Volume 1. This album is incredible. You've got Keep On Moving, which features Karen Wheeler to open the album. Back to Life is on this, but it's not the version everyone thinks it is. Jazzy's Groove is a great track on here. Yeah, just very, very solid stuff. Yeah, cannot express enough how much I love this album. Number 4, Phil Collins, but seriously, again, I think this might be the first time I'm mentioning the Phil Collins album, but this is definitely my favourite album from Phil Collins' solo career, at least. Especially the track Another Day in Paradise. I really, really love that song from him. I think it's incredible. I cannot express enough how much I love this album, and yeah, I think this album is the best he's ever done and hasn't matched it since. Just my opinion. I know everyone will disagree, probably. I don't know, but I know someone out there is going to disagree. But I really love this Phil Collins album. At number 3, we have Young MC, Stone Cold Rhyming. Of course, famous for the track Bust a Move. Also, the song Know How, which features on the soundtrack to Baby Driver, a movie I really love, and also a movie that reminded me how much I love this album from '89. I think this is, again, one of the best of the time period for the 80s. Not a bad track on it, cannot fault this album at all. Yeah, just one I think I needed to mention, so it comes to number 3. At number 2, we have my favourite album from this band, and that is Disintegration by The Cure. Obviously, my favourite Cure song is on this album as well, which is Pictures of You. Lullabies on here. Title track Disintegration. Plain Song. Fascination Street. Just a really, really good, a very solid album by The Cure. A band I wasn't really into until Hyde Park a few years ago when they performed there, and yeah, ever since then I've sort of got into their music more and more, discovered more of their music, and just, become a bigger fan. So cannot wait to get more of their albums on vinyl. Just love this album to death. So it comes in on my list at number 2. Before I reveal my number 1, I do want to give a quick honourable mention to the album 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul. It would have made it on this list somewhere if I owned it on vinyl. Every time I track a copy down, it's either beat to hell or out of my price budget. So I don't own it. But it wouldn't be number 1. It's just an honourable mention for now, because my favourite album from 1989, and I do think this is maybe the best album that did come out in '89 in my personal opinion, not just the one I spin the most, not just my favourite album from this group, but in my opinion the best album from '89, and that's Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys. Yes, I genuinely believe that this is maybe the best album that came out in '89, the best recorded, the best put together, the best album where there's no skips at all. Just really, really good, really fun stuff, and love this album to pieces. Like I said, my favourite from Beastie Boys. I think the best that Beastie Boys have ever released. So of course, it's going to get mentioned from me here at number 1 as the best album from 1989. So, with all that said and done, that is it for this video. Guys, thanks so much for tuning back into the channel. Subscribe if you're new here. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Make sure the bell's switched on, that way you never miss an upload. And sorry that I've just sort of, run through these quite quickly, but I am filming this quite late at night. Like, it's nearly it is 11:15, so oops. Anyway, Enough rambling from me. I'll see you all again very soon. Bye.